Hey folks, Sean here, and today what I want to talk to you about is validating your assumptions after you've launched your product. Now, when I've talked about building landing pages and who they're for and how and what to communicate on them, there's a number of variables that we have to ultimately determine and then move forward with into that testing phase. So two of them that are really important to get a better understanding of are what I refer to as your ICP, your ideal client or customer profile, and your UVP, your unique value proposition. Now, those are designed early on, likely from any of the discovery work that you've done in order to get a better understanding in what your target market needs. However, they're still assumptions. So after you've launched and people are becoming onboarded to your platform, what I'm ultimately recommending that you do is more homework in terms of who you are attracting to your B2B SaaS. Because there could be a difference between ultimately what we've designed and then what ends up actually playing out in practice. So you have your essentially validations, and what you want to do, is validate those assumptions. So you have the validations that you need to complete, and then what you're going to find out is those are either close to how you design them or they may be a little bit further apart. Either way, what I want you to look for are the patterns. And as you start to find these patterns, you can start to update your assumptions, but with more accurate data that you're actually taking from practice. So as your product is out there, people are finding it, people are using it, the things that, in addition to ultimately validating your value proposition, which is what your product does and the problems that it solves, that's part of what we need to validate. I also want you to validate who you have determined ultimately is part of your target market. Are you attracting who you thought you would be attracting? Does your ideal customer profile need to be updated? If so, make sure to update that as the pattern becomes more clear, or make modifications to it if you need to attract someone slightly differently. Updating that is going to be important because it's going to affect everything else that you're going to be doing from here, as in how you're finding them, who you're attracting, and ultimately how you're going to attract them. So understanding how that's changing when your product is out there in the wild is going to be important for future success from here. So I wanted to mention that after your launch, you want to get a better understanding of what are the assumptions that you've made, and that now that you have real data, go back and reevaluate those assumptions and get a better understanding for, are those being validated based on how you design them, or are they different, and then ultimately make updates and changes to your strategy from there.